Peace. This is Adam Gerard. Welcome to the Parent Channel, where it's all about scrutinizing the parents. It's not the children's fault, man. Man, today I want to talk to y'all about gang banging versus gang membership. Two totally different opposites, man. Gang members are not required to do the things that gangbangers are required to do. This is to the youngsters out there, man. I want you to understand that you are in an era of manipulation, man. Manipulation and sacrifice. You out there, you are the sacrifice. Let me explain something to you, man. In this new era, manipulation is one of the most powerful tools that you can use. It's being used every day, hood to hood, city to city, state to state, man. Just look at the statistics, man. The prison statistics. The highest rates of black inmates are from the ages of 18 to 26 years old. So what is that telling you? That's telling you that if you only seeing that age group, what are the people older than you doing? Why they don't fit into that percentage? Because they smarter than you. They learn the ways of the trade. They master the art of manipulation. Man, when you talking about hood love and all of that shit, man, that's fictional, man. Because there's no love on the streets, man. You shouldn't look towards the streets to have more love for you than your immediate family. But why do you feel like the streets love you more than your family? Because the people on the streets are manipulating you to convince you to think that that there's more love on the streets than with your immediate family. That's a manipulation tactic. Should no man on those streets be telling no youngster out there that I love you more than your family love you? That's strike one right there. That's strike one right there of manipulation at its finest, man. Now, how does sacrifice equate to gang banging and being a gang member? Because in order for a hood to thrive, survive, be in the headliners per year, there has to be sacrifices. There has to be people willing to go all out for the betterment of the hood. But you got to ask yourself, youngsters, who benefits off of this? The survivors. Who are these survivors? The ones who are not going to risk their lives for their hood. Yeah, they'll come on that block and they'll pop it, they'll politic it, they dress it, they talk it, they throw it up, they do all of these things. But deep down inside, they don't love the hood enough to where they become the sacrifice. See, gang politics have changed. It's been remanufactured. No more do you see the percentages in the prison system of men from 24 to 40. Why is that? Because they understood they understand the power of control. Control through characterization. It's the same thing with the rappers. It's the same thing that the music industry does with the rappers. They present a character to the people, and this character leads the masses, manipulates the masses to get them to do certain things. But the rapper is not actually doing these things. You know, he's living in a white neighborhood, in a white gated off community neighborhood. It's the same rules apply to the streets. Youngsters, you got to be aware of these manipulators, man. These are the ones who will convince you to sacrifice your livelihood to keep them from sacrificing their livelihoods. See, these are things that they not telling you. These are you will never get them to admit these things. This is why I tell you about love. These older men that you look up to, that you revere, because the persona that they're giving you, half of you youngsters out there, you so young that you don't even know his past. These youngsters are out here looking up to a person and they don't even know his history. They don't know his past because they were too young when he was out there. See, the cold thing about it, these manipulation tactics doesn't work on people their age, because the people their age grew up with them and they know it's a facade. See, you get your role model can be putting on a facade on, could be putting a facade on you. He's not really like that. Another thing I want you youngsters to pay attention to: look over your right shoulder and look over your left shoulder and ask yourself this question: why am I the only one out here ready to risk my life for this hood, but I got all these dudes around me you never see them with no guns? They pop it. They pop like they'll do this, they'll do that. They call themselves gangsters, right? They never slide. They not putting in no graveyard shifts, protecting the hood all night. You have to ask yourself these questions. You have to ask yourself, why am I out here risking it like a kitten, but they going home every night? They don't live in the hood, right? They pop up every such and such days, but I'm out here every day with the pistol on the block, protecting a hood that they're not willing to protect. You have to ask yourself these questions, man. I'm telling you right now, man, you got to ask yourself these questions, man. Are you being manipulated, man? Are you being sacrificed? This is why you hear this new generation saying that, oh, the big homies, they don't do nothing for us. It's just us out here. You know what I'm saying? That thought of thinking comes from these same people who are using young men as sacrifices. See, you gotta speak the rhetoric to these young dudes. You gotta convince them to crash out. You can't just say crash out. You gotta come up with a manipulative scheme. It's how you word it. It's how you walk it. It's how you talk it. You gotta put on a persona. You gotta take on a character, just as the rappers do. Just as the music industry presents a character to the masses. This character has to be convincing. And man, that's a masterful skill, to be convincing. What I'm trying to tell y'all youngsters out here, man, is that you being sacrificed, and you're being told to sacrifice your dreams, your future, your family, for the betterment of the gang. That's evil within itself, because if anybody loved you, they would try to convince you not to do this shit right here, right? These older men who are coming around you, telling you things like, "Oh, you gonna be a solid young nigga. Ooh, that little nigga, a gangster." You got these older men around you, sharing drugs with you. You know, giving you drugs, giving you a pistol. You know, convincing you, man, so they won't be out there risking it like a kitten like you. See, these older dudes, man, they don't want to go to prison. They don't want to go to prison. They don't want to do nothing that would jeopardize their lives. But they are willing to convince you to jeopardize your life. I'm just keeping it a stack, man. So that's evolved politics right there. Because these it's not the youngsters that's saying, it's not the youngsters that came up with the concept about, oh, the older dudes, they don't do nothing for us. No, it's the older dudes that they look up to that convince the young niggas that older dudes don't do nothing for them. Why did they do that? Because of the old politics. See the old politics states that if you call yourself a gangster, or if you call yourself a gangster, it's blood in, blood out. That means at any time you gotta go slide, you gotta go ride. You see what I'm saying? They the ones that had to get rid of that old politics by coming with that rhetoric about big homies don't be doing nothing for us and all of that stuff. Don't nobody owe you nothing. Ain't no big homies niggas supposed to sit there and drop $2,000 in your pocket. The big homies did the best that they could. Why are you holding them to certain standards? Well, youngsters, if you look at it right now, who you call your big homies, you should be holding them to the same standards. They ain't breaking you off. They ain't dropping 2 G's in your pocket. When you go to prison, your big homie that you looked up to, that nigga ain't gonna put no money on your books. You're a sacrifice. You are a sacrifice, man. You're being sacrificed out there. Give all the guns and drugs to them young niggas, while all them older dudes that you look up to, they go home at night. They go sleep in a bed. I'm trying to tell y'all something, man. So let me speak about what a gangbanger is and what a gang member is. And let me tell you something right now. That older dude that you think is a gangster is really a gang member in disguise, because gang members are not obligated to crash out. Gang members are not the ones that get up in the car and go slide out. Gang members are not the ones that protect the hood all night with a pistol. That's the gangbanger's job. Man, I want y'all to look around, man, and pay attention to these dudes that be sitting there talking about that they gangsters, but they don't have the actions of a gangster. If somebody was to come in your hood right now and do a drive-by, guess what? He's not gonna get in the car. He's not gonna do what you're willing to do. These older dudes have found out a way to stay gangster in the eyes of the young, but at the same time not having to put in the gangster work. And why? He's not gonna tell you this, but I'm gonna tell you, and you want to know why? Because he don't want to go to prison. He don't want to risk his life. He don't want to risk his life, but he'll let you risk your life. That's why he put the gun in your hand. That's why he give you the drugs. That's why he pump you up. That's why he call you little soldiers, and these niggas gonna be gangster when they get older. These niggas some little gangsters. See, they found out a way. They found out a way to keep themselves from going to prison, or dying, or getting shot. Right? When the police come on the block, they not running. Y'all running. Y'all got the burner on y'all. Y'all got the drugs on y'all and all that. They not running, because they smarter than you. Yeah, they learned the manipulation trade, homie. All this shit is manipulation, man. Because if it was really love, they'll be out there risking it like a kitten like you, or they will be convincing you not to do that and to live like them. See, the older dudes understand or overstand that they can have the clout without putting in the work. All they need is the hood to ring, the hood to be popularized. The only way the hood can be ringing and be popularized by other hoods, like, oh man, they hood turned up, is by people doing things, you know what I'm saying, doing things to keep the hood name alive. Drive-bys, robberies, shootings, you know what I'm saying? And they understood that they can feed off that energy. But somebody out there need to go do all this. I'm trying to tell y'all something, man. You're being hoodwinked and bamboozled, man. I'm gonna tell you what they not gonna tell you, man. I'm gonna tell you the truth, bro. The ones that's teaching you to be a gangster, they're gang members. Because if they was gang bangers, they'd be out there sliding like you. Gang banging has no age limit. There's no excuses for gang banging. He's wearing the same color clothes you wear. He's throwing up the same gang signs that you do. He talking that talk just like you do, but he ain't doing what you do. Man, that's why I tell you, man, the politics is different, man. They changed them politics around, man, because, man, when I was growing up, bro, man, that shit was blood in, blood out, man. Once you claim to be a gangster back then, man, wasn't no age limitations, wasn't no excuses, man, wasn't no I got felonies and I got 2 pistol cases, I get caught with 1 more pistol, they gonna send me up the river for a minute, man. Well, none of that back then, bro. Sacrifice was everything. You had men willing to die and go to prison for life for the set. You gotta understand when you're being manipulated by a character. See, it's a facade. They're really gang members, but you so intrigued, or you so fascinated by the character because of you being because of you having an adolescent mind, which they know how to manipulate. You're not sitting there thinking about why that nigga don't never put in no work. He say you're a gangster, but he don't never put in no work, because they got you believing in this standard of protocol of rank and file. Man, even in the United States Army, the colonels, the lieutenants, the sergeants, the generals, all of them out there in the battlefield. The sergeants, the generals, the lieutenants, and all of them. They out there with the cavalry. They out there with the troops, out there shooting with the troops, bro. They still out there. They out there. They not in the back pointing fingers and giving orders. They out there with the uniforms on, with the bulletproof vests, with the AR-15s, man. They out there with their troops, nigga, out there killing. So this is how you know it's a manipulation tactic going on out here, man. Man, to protect their livelihood, man. Cause look, it's something about that prison they don't want to go to, man. They quick to tell you stories about how beautiful prison was, but they ain't willing to get out here, nigga, and get busy to end up in that same place that they telling you was a breeze. Oh, it was easy in the pen. Yeah, we prunoed out, smoking weed, got some drugs up in there. You know what I'm saying? Couple of fights. Well, if it's that easy, why are they so hesitant to go back? Why have they put down the gun, put down the drugs, and trying to lead this little normal life if prison was that easy? But they out there telling you how easy prison is because they know 9 times out of 10 you gonna crash out. Man, that's manipulation, man. That's a damn manipulation tactic right there. So what you think is gangster is really gang membership. It's just like the rapper, man, who poses as a gangster, man, but he ain't putting in no work, man. It's the same rules of, it's the same thing you see on the streets, man. So youngsters, man, you got to be careful, man. You got to think, man. Think about it, man. Look around and ask yourself, man, be like, why am I the only one putting in work? Why I'm the only one ready to risk it? You know what I'm saying? Ready to throw my life away for this set. But I got other people around me saying that they gangster and they ain't putting in no work. So, man, you know what I'm saying? I just wanted to talk to y'all out there, man. Man, love yourself, man. Don't ever be no follower out here, man. And with that, man, this is the parent channel. Love, peace, and hair grease. Thank y'all for tuning in. Each one teach one. And peace.